Hey ladies, this is Becky and I run Faithful Finish Lines along with Sarah, who will be joining me on here in just a minute. And Sarah and I have both lost 100 pounds. And so we are just passionate about sharing what we've learned through our journeys with you. And so today is going to be really, really cool. Today we get to come to you and do a sample live coaching call for you like we do. Hold on just a second, bringing Sarah on. We're going to give you guys a taste of what it's like to be inside of our Faithful Finish Lines 2.0 program.
Hi.
Hey, Sarah. So yes,
I
you
like your
guys.
shirt.
Oh, I know. We're both sporting our Faithful
Yep.
Finish Line shirts
Yes.
today. Mine says the Lord is my strength, and what does yours say?
Mine
She's
is she
strong.
is strong.
Oh,
Yes.
that's great.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. So Sarah and I run a program called Faithful Finish Lines 2.0. It's a Christian weight loss membership site, and we are about to open the doors to the general public for the first
Yay,
time.
so
And we are so
excited.
excited. We have
Yes,
poured
we
so much
are.
time and energy and prayer into this.
Love.
And
So much
oh my
love.
goodness, so much love. So we are just chomping at the bit to just open it up to
hmm
you guys
hmm
so that you can just see what it's all about.
Yep.
So what's really cool, well, hold on. First of all, let me jump back. If you missed our first video, we've been doing a
Oh yeah.
series called Becky and Sara Get Real. If you missed our first video, go back and watch it because we shared some of our real raw things about our weight loss journey. So our rock bottom moments, how we transformed from where we were to where we are today. There is some really cool stuff there. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, make sure to watch that.
We've had such
Um,
positive comments from that
mhm.
video, and people saying like, "Oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one," and it feels so good to know I'm not alone, that type of thing. And that was our whole reason for sharing. So you're not alone, and to give you hope because we have hit those rock bottom moments, and God has brought us so much healing, and we want to give you that hope and encouragement that it is possible.
Yes, absolutely. There is so much freedom ahead. It just takes some work to get there,
Yeah,
but
but you can
we are
get there.
just, yeah, and we are just so confident in this new program. It is really, really cool because it's a mixture between a course and a membership. And so today we're going to be giving you this really cool sneak peek. So the course is 10 stages where we walk you step by step through everything that you need to know, through like the practical steps that you're going to need to lose weight, through the spiritual journey of just how do you invite God into your weight loss journey? What does that look like? How do you put God into the center of your exercise and your eating? So we walk you through all of that, taking you from calorie counting to food freedom, all of these really cool steps. But on the other side of it, we have this membership site where we have a members only Facebook group. And one of the most valuable parts of our membership is our weekly coaching call. And so every Tuesday we do a live coaching call, just like we're going to do for you today. And our members have the opportunity to just leave their struggles and their questions and get really personalized advice for what they're going through specifically. So that's the biggest struggle, right? Like everybody knows general weight loss advice, what we're supposed to do in general, but it's really, really tricky figuring out how to apply those general tips to your specific situation. And so in our group, we'll get things like, man, I have a work meeting coming up this week, and I know that they're going to be serving pizza and cookies. How do I handle this? Or, oh my goodness, I'm about to go into birthday week and everybody's having a birthday and everybody's going to be eating cake. How do I stay within my calories? How do I handle this? And the really cool part of our advice is that it's so realistic. If you're going into birthday week, we don't say, oh, we'll just take carrot sticks with you to the party. That is just not how we go. So it's really
Yeah.
like realistic advice for how you can make this happen. So we are about to take some of your questions. So we sent out emails and asked you on Facebook for your questions and your struggles so that we can address some of the things that you guys are really having a rough time with. So we're about to jump into that. But really quick, I want to just remind you guys that we are not trained medical professionals. We are not your doctor. We're not nutritionists. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer and health coach. And obviously we both have the experience of losing 100 pounds ourselves. And Sara and I both just love learning about weight loss. And so we are constantly listening to podcasts and reading research studies and articles. So just so you know, that is our background coming into this. So don't take our advice over your doctor's advice. We are not there. We don't know your unique body. So before we jump in, I just want to see who's here with us. Sandy's here, Tiffany's here, Nancy. Tiffany is helping us out today. She is awesome. If you have questions, Tiffany might jump in. She is just our right-hand man. We love Tiffany.
And she already even posted the video link for the first video. So if anybody wants to check that out after this is over, of course.
Yes, after this is over. Hey, Teresa and Patty's here again.
Yep. So
Sandy,
great to have
Jerry.
you with us. Yeah.
Yes, Jerry, you're not alone eating when you're bored. All right. Okay, so the first question that we are going to dive into is from Doris. So Doris said, there are so many plans to lose weight. Which one is best? I'm 67 and weight sticks to me like glue.
Oh, well, good for you, Doris, for continuing on fighting the good fight. Good for you. First of all, I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to find this perfect, ideal diet plan. And I want to tell you, it's not out there. I think it is a way to distract ourselves from the hard work that we need to do. And I'm not judging it. I'm saying it because I did the same thing. You know, I'm going to count calories for a while. And then when that doesn't work, then like, oh, well, you know, it's not my fault. It's just that counting calories doesn't work. So I'm going to quit that. Eat whatever I want for a while, then I'll start Weight Watchers. Oh, well, Weight Watchers isn't working for me. Why should I have to pay all this money if I'm not really going to lose weight? And so, you know, we jump from diet to diet because we're looking, you know, I don't want to say we're looking for a quick fix because I think we all know that this is hard, but we're looking for that certain special diet program that's going to have rainbows and butterflies and unicorns fly out and suddenly it's all going to be better. You're never going to find that. Never. So I want to encourage you to pick a healthy, realistic diet plan that works for you and stick with it. And when I say diet, I mean, I really mean a healthy eating program. All of us follow a diet of some sort. But I do have some recommendations. The first one is that you will never lose weight on any program if you're eating more calories than you're burning. It doesn't matter if it's keto or intermittent fasting or paleo or what Weight Watchers or what it is. You have to eat fewer calories than you burn. So one really simple way to keep track of that is simply to keep track of your calories. And that's one of the things that we recommend in our program. Most women use MyFitnessPal. You can start right after this video and do it today. The other program that a lot of our members use is Weight Watchers. That's what I personally use, and I think it's a good program. If it's something that you want to do, you can, but we do recommend that you keep a food log because that has been proven by research over and over and over to be important feedback that you need in order to find long-term success.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree with everything Sara said. I think that the part that she said that really, really is important to hang on to is that all of us are looking for that one thing that's going to make the difference. So we've tried all of these different diets and we might have lost a few pounds, but then it was hard to keep up. And so we pulled back. And so it's so tempting when keto comes up and intermittent fasting comes up and this new product comes up. And it's so tempting to think that is the one thing that's going to get me consistent and instant results. And that typically is not the case. So that's part of the reason that, as Sara said, our main focus, like you will lose weight if you are eating fewer calories than your body is burning. You will lose weight. Yeah. So the most important part of all of it, like Sara said, one of the practical tools we give you is tracking your food. You have to track to have a realistic view of what you're eating. But the most important part of all of this, I believe, is the accountability factor. Because these are habits that you have built for years and years and years, and it is going to be hard to break them. It's going to be hard to eat a lot of whole real foods when you're used to eating a lot of takeout or fast food or just junk food. It is hard, and it's so hard to make the changes. But when you have a community around you and they are cheering you on and helping you, when you hit those sticky moments where you're like, all right, this is just getting too hard, it's just easier to order pizza tonight. When you have people in your head, in your ear, supporting you and cheering you on, it is so much easier to make those healthy choices. So you said weight sticks to you like glue, and I hear you, especially as you get older. It's so much easier to have weight just stick on you, but it's not impossible to lose weight, and there is no magical diet out there. And you just need to find what that looks like for you, eating fewer calories than you're burning. And so once you get to that point and find out what that looks like, how many calories you should be eating, you just need a support system to help you to make consistent small changes to set you up for success. And I mean, I'm telling you, every single stage of our program, we just walk you through all of that. In the course, we give you the practical steps. In the Facebook group, we give you the community. And so you have people checking in on you. We have women saying, hey, this week is going to be really hard. Can somebody just send me a message these few days and just ask me if I'm doing okay? Like, we just have such an awesome support system that we're building, that we hit you from both angles so that you have everything you need to be able to succeed.
You can lose weight in your 60s. You can lose weight in your 70s. You can lose weight in your 80s. It's not too late. It's never too late to tackle these issues. You do have some metabolism changes, but the more you dial in to your hunger signals and learn to overcome emotional eating, it is absolutely still possible to lose weight. I fully believe anyone who wants to, any person can lose weight.
So Sandy is one of our members. She just popped on and said, I am 71 young and I have done it. So Sandy is at her goal weight right now, which is just absolutely incredible. So living proof right there. You can do it at any age.
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the next question. So this question is from Renee. So she asked, how do I train my brain to stop snacking when I'm not really hungry at all?
Yes. Oh, we hear you, girl. Oh, Renee, I so get it, because I think that, so when we put out the call for questions, we got hundreds of questions. I'm not exaggerating. And it was really, really hard for us to narrow down the questions for this video, because so many good ones. So many of the questions revolve around emotional eating. So many, because I think we all get this, right? If I could get my emotional eating under control, I could get my eating under control and lose weight. That's what so many people, they've come to understand. And it is so true. And that was absolutely true for me. I was definitely an emotional eater. I ate when I wasn't physically hungry. I ate beyond hungry. So when I hear a question like this, what I'm hearing is I'm looking, the deeper level of this question. What you're really asking me is, why am I eating for emotional reasons? And I believe that any eating that isn't for physical hunger is for emotional reasons. So whether that's snacking, nighttime eating, weekend eating, holiday eating, vacation eating, all of it is emotional eating. And that is a bigger topic than we can cover the whole thing in this video and many videos. In our program, we have a whole stage that's very in-depth about emotional eating. What is emotional eating? Why is it a problem? How to overcome it? A huge list of tools and resources that we walk you through one step at a time, and all of it with a spiritual basis. We're turning you again and again back to God, for God to heal you of this issue. But I also want to make this video really practical. And so this is my practical advice, is I would encourage you to plan your food 24 hours in advance. And there are all kinds of different reasons why we encourage you to do that. We encourage women in the program to do it. It's super easy with the apps we have these days, like MyFitnessPal or Weight Watchers or whatever you're using. The night before, sit down, plan what you're going to eat the next day. The reason I think it's so important with emotional eating is you're going to know instantly if you're eating for emotional reasons, and you'll have that light bulb, because if it's not on your food plan, you're eating for emotional reasons. So try planning your food 24 hours in advance. That's a great place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Sara said, I think that one of the most unique parts of how we approach weight loss is that we just dive to a deeper level. So you can find the practical general tips anywhere. Like, okay, well, what should I do to stop snacking when I'm not hungry? Well, drink a glass of water and go for a walk and do these things. And those are great practical tips, but that's only the first step. You have to get farther to create permanent change. And so to create permanent change, you have to get to the root of what's really going on. So that is what we really guide you through in the program, is saying, why? Why are you snacking when you're not hungry? Are you stressed? Are you bored? Are you sad? Are you lonely? Are you angry? Are you bored and you just like, you don't know what to do? Is it just because food is around and it's visible and you're just snacking just because it's there and you're in the habit? So we set up all of these habits for ourselves. And we don't even realize that we almost make it second nature. Oh, there's chips on the table, I'm going to eat some. And oh, I'm feeling like, oh, the TV's on, I need to go grab some chips. Like whatever it is, we let ourselves go on autopilot. And so a lot of our program is shaking you up and saying, nope, get off of autopilot. We're going to pay attention to what's really going on here, what's going on beneath the surface. So once you get to that point, you can say, okay, I'm eating because I'm bored. What else could I do to address that boredom that's not eating? And then you can move forward and actually get to the root of the problem so that you create these new neural pathways so that when you have that experience, oh no, I'm bored again, you're not instantly going to go to food. You're going to say, wait, I know that I don't need food to solve this. What else can I do? And you will retrain yourself to turn to something else. So it's really, really hard to get to that level. There are layers that you have to work through to get there, but it's getting to the root of the problem that I just 1000% agree is the most important in lasting change.
And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the emotional eating and some other tips and strategies later on in some of the questions.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then this last question, and then we're going to have a giveaway. This last question before our giveaway is from somebody. It's more of a program specific question, but Debbie said, in July, I was tracking my calories on MyFitnessPal and it was a real eye opener. However, I have switched to the Weight Watchers plan and I am noticing a good loss also. I noticed your first session of the new membership opening in September has to do with counting calories. So would I need to go back to tracking calories? I want to know if the membership will benefit me.
Yep. So Debbie, you're good. I'm a Weight Watchers girl. So we've written the program to where you can count calories or you can track points. You'll be totally fine. And really counting points is just a fancy way of counting calories. That's Weight Watchers' version of helping us do that. So you'll be 100% good with Faithful Finish Line's membership with that.
Yep, absolutely. 100%. It will benefit you. Come join us.
Yep, definitely.
So it's time for our first giveaway. So we have talked about a couple things so far with Renee and Doris's question about which diet plan is best and how to retrain your brain. So what is the one food that you reach for that you feel like you mindlessly eat the most? So when you sit down and watch TV, what do you grab? When you're just bored and walking through the kitchen, what do you grab? Leave a comment letting us know which food that you just mindlessly eat the most, and you will be entered into a giveaway for I run an Etsy shop and I have all kinds of different encouraging, inspirational Christian t-shirts. So you will win one of the t-shirts of your choice from my Etsy shop. So to enter, I'm seeing some snacks coming already.
Yeah, I'm like in my mind, like guessing like chips, popcorn.
Yep, we've got popcorn so far.
Skittles,
Gummy bears. Gummy bears is one of mine for sure. Oh yes, yep, I'm feeling that for sure.
Yeah,
berries. Berries. Lisa, that's great. Berries is a great thing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna eat mindlessly.
Yeah, we don't want you to eat mindlessly, but yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so while you guys keep commenting, what is the one food that you most mindlessly eat?
Sunflower seeds, nuts. That's a big one for me. I could just,
Yep, definitely. That's the big one. So all the answers still keep coming in. That's great, guys. Keep it coming. Sandy eats grapes. While you guys are getting your answers in, we are going to move on to the next question, and then we will pick the winner. So Cheryl says, My only problem is, how do I stay focused on my goal of losing weight and being a healthier me? I have lost and gained the same 5 to 10 pounds over and over again over the last couple of years. I will start a plan of action, and after a few days, I fall back into old habits and have gained a pound or two. I feel like I have started and restarted a weight loss healthier me plan more times than I can even remember. Help, in all caps.
Oh, I get you, Cheryl, except I think, you know, yours is 5 or 10 pounds. For me, it was 40 or 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I gained and lost 40 or 50 pounds many, many times. I could have that commitment and honestly was white knuckling it because, like Becky said, I hadn't gotten to some of those underlying deeper issues of why I was overeating. But the shorter answer that I want to give you today for this video, and I have a separate video about this too that I can put in the links later, is I want you to think about what your level of commitment is. So when you decide that you're going to start eating healthier, exercising, you know, keeping track of your calories, whatever that is for you, what is your level of commitment? So maybe the first day it's a level 10, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10. And then, you know, a party comes up or an event comes up or life gets crazy and suddenly we've slipped down to, well, you know, I'm going to give this a little bit of a try. Or I keep track in the morning for breakfast and maybe I've packed my lunch and then by afternoon all bets are off. Or I do really well for a few days and then by the weekend, oh, forget it, let's just order pizza. The reality is us not giving that a level 10 effort. So sometimes we expect level 10 results. We want to see that weight loss, but we're only giving like a level 5 or 6 effort. So I suggest checking in with yourself and saying, hey, wait a minute, what's your level of effort here? If it's a level 6, then I got to be okay with not losing weight because I can't expect really good results if I'm not giving the effort that it needs.
That is such a good point. Yeah. And I mean, one of the things that we really emphasize in the beginning of the program is coming to terms with what your reality looks like. A lot of people think that they are eating so healthy when they're still overeating 1,000 or 2,000 calories a day. So of course they're not losing weight because they hope or they wish they were eating a certain way when they're really not. And so we are all about laying it all out there and seeing this is honestly where you are. So what you're talking about, though, is more of a start and stop mentality, which I totally get. If you watched our Get Real video, our first video, I talked about how I am the queen of 30-day challenges. I can do anything you want me to do for 30 days and I will succeed. And then on day 31, I am binging on potato chips and pizza and ice cream and all the things that I was just dreaming about that whole 30 days. So what we highly encourage in our program, we know that a lot of women go from extreme to extreme. You are not alone. And I'm really, really healthy. Oh, I'm falling off the wagon. So what we try to help you do is learn to live in the gray area in our program. So instead of your extremes being high and low and high and low, we want to make them smaller and smaller and smaller until you develop a healthy, steady normal. So we don't encourage crazy, drastic overnight change. We do not want you to give up all of your favorite foods overnight. We do not ask you to give up sugar and give up gluten and go completely low carb in our program. We highly encourage you to just make one small change at a time. And honestly, that is, I say it all the time, that is how I lost my 100 pounds, was making one small change at a time, because those extreme changes never stuck for me. But I will also tell you, you talk about starting and stopping and starting and stopping. Don't get tired of starting and stopping, because I will tell you, every time that I did a diet plan, I learned something. And every single healthy choice I made, whether it was a 30-day plan that I ruined on day 31 or not, every healthy choice that I made mattered. It still gave my body nutrients. It still helped me to taste some more vegetables. It still did something positive for me. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Every single healthy choice you make matters. And so it doesn't matter to me if you have failed 1,000 times or once when you come into our program. We are just restart like that. Your restarting shows so much strength and endurance and stamina and perseverance. And that is one of the characteristics of both Sara and I in how we lost this weight. If we had just stopped and not restarted, we sure as heck wouldn't be here.
You'd never get that last time where it is the last time. I love what you're saying. You know, we really like to encourage the philosophy at Faithful Finish Lines. You cannot fail at this. You cannot fail at weight loss with the way that we are approaching it. And I know that so many women are, my heart goes out to you. My heart hurts for you because I get it. You know, tell us things like, I don't even want to start. I don't even want to try because I'm just sure I'm going to fail, or I'm so afraid I'm going to fail, or I failed 50,000 times before. Why should this time be any different? And exactly what Becky is saying, we just don't believe that. We don't believe that you failed, because each time you try, you learn something new. Even if it's because you totally messed up, maybe because you totally messed up, because all those falls down, that's when you learn. That's when you learn, okay, this really does not work for me, or this does work for me. So you can't fail at this. And we applaud you for keeping going and keep trying.
Yep, absolutely. And also, it's really, really hard when you've stopped and restarted so many times. You just think, all right, well, this is the same cycle. I'm just redoing the same thing I've always done. But we have a very specific process for you. In our program, we expect that you're going to get off track. You're not going to be able to follow all of our guidelines and do everything perfectly the first time you go through this. We don't want you to, because you do learn from those mistakes and errors. What we want you to learn how to do is, when you get off track, get yourself back on. And so we have worksheets. We have specific step-by-step instructions on not only the practical changes to make to get you back on track to lose weight, but also the mental changes to retrain your thought process. So you don't think, I've gone off track, I'm a failure, I'm never going to be able to do this. Instead, we are sending you straight to the Lord and saying, all right, take what happened to him, look at it realistically. You did, like, you made poor decisions, but it's okay. His grace is way bigger than any poor decision you could make. And so it's just turning you right back to God. And there is so much freedom in covering yourself with grace instead of guilt. And that just changes the entire way that you proceed in your weight loss journey. So,
yep, we call that whole process trading guilt for grace. And it really is the foundation of everything that we do. It's how you start the program. In a bigger way, we walk you through the trading guilt for grace. And then every time you fall off the wagon, so to speak, that's exactly how we get you back on track, is going back again to God, confessing your sin, asking for his forgiveness, repenting. And repent means to turn and have that fresh start, have that grace, forgiveness, compassion. So trading guilt for grace is such a powerful way to approach your weight loss.
Absolutely. So Tiffany has chosen our first giveaway winner for us. So the winner of the free t-shirt from my Etsy store is Zanice Harasimchuk. I just butchered your name. I'm so sorry.
I bet she's used to it, I gotta say.
But we are so excited that you won. Please send us an email at support@faithfulfinishlines.com, and we will get you all set up and get your t-shirt out to you as soon as possible. So send us an email there, and we would love to help you out. So congratulations, Zanice.
Becky, before we keep going, I saw there was a reader question that came in that I think we can answer pretty quickly.
Sure.
It's from Donna, and she says, I'm 52 and disabled. The only exercise I'm able to do is with therapy bands. So how can I lose significant weight if I can't do real exercises?
So we do not even talk about exercise really until stage 7 of our program, because you can lose significant weight without exercise. We love exercise. There are 1,000,001 benefits to exercise. Sara and I both exercise regularly. It's a huge part of our lives. That is not the biggest contributor to either of our weight loss. We lost most of our weight based on our eating changes. And so that is where we highly encourage everybody to focus first. You must be eating fewer calories than you are burning to lose weight. And so it might take more dietary cuts. You might have to limit your calories a little bit more than you have been. Focus on the calories and not the exercise. It is okay. You don't need to be exercising to lose weight.
And then the other reader question too that I think we can answer pretty quickly is from Tina, and she asked, how do I count calories in a homemade recipe?
Tina, I use MyFitnessPal and I do homemade stuff all the time. And it's really fast. They have a little recipe feature and you can just list your ingredients. So I say 1 cup of chopped onions and 1 medium bell pepper. And I just list whatever I throw in there. And then however many servings I'm dividing that recipe into. And they just calculate it like that. You might want to double check because sometimes they do weird things. They'll say a can of black beans is like 1,000 calories or 1,500 calories or something. But for the most part, really simple.
Yep, you can calculate like that. The other thing we recommend is if you're just totally overwhelmed by that process, which actually really doesn't take that long. But if you are, just pick something and estimate and keep going. Because what we don't want you to do is use that as an excuse to stop tracking.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. Yep. Yeah. All right. Our next question is from Donna. Donna says, I have trouble snacking at night and can't lose weight when I'm doing that. I know. I would love some pointers for this problem.
Okay, so I get you because I used to eat at night so much. So I would skip breakfast and then I would eat a very light lunch because I wanted to save all my points or calories or whatever. Or if I wasn't even dieting at all, I just was in the habit of that. And then from like dinner until like right up until bedtime was eat, 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 eat. So I totally get that. This is an emotional eating problem, and I'm going to talk about it more in the next one because the next question is about emotional eating too. So just pause, keep going with me there. But I understand with the night eating, a lot of us use it as a way to relax or unwind at the end of the day. And then you train your body to get used to it because you have all those calories instead you're not hungry in the morning because you just ate thousands of calories at night before bed. But this is definitely a behavior pattern you can change. I have, Becky has. I wake up in the morning, I'm ready for a big breakfast. I'm ready to go. And I typically don't eat much after dinner. Maybe sometimes when I've had an evening workout, I do like Taekwondo classes in the evening, then I'll have a little something. But generally, I don't eat too much at night. The one thing I do want to say, though, is you can lose weight eating at night if you're eating for hunger. So it's not that there's some magical thing that happens that you can't eat past a certain time. That's completely, no, that's not true.
Yeah. So like we've been talking about so far this video, there are layers to this nighttime eating, right? So when I was really struggling with nighttime eating, just like Sarah was talking about, I wouldn't eat breakfast. I would just binge like most of my calories at night. And so I wouldn't be hungry for breakfast the next day. So it just set up this really bad cycle. But I will tell you, one of the questions that totally transformed my nighttime eating is, are you hungry enough to eat an apple? And it is such a simple thing. And we're talking like first layer here. We're not diving into, are you sad? Are you struggling with emotions? Right now, just the simple question, are you hungry enough to eat an apple? That changed the way I ate at night because I would stop and ask myself, like, am I hungry enough to eat an apple? And sometimes I was. Sometimes I was. So I would let myself eat at that point. But I would try to eat an apple at that point. But honestly, most of the time, my answer is, no, I'm really not. I just want a snack. For the sake of snacking, I just want to snack. And so, like I said, it takes time to change those things. So I did not go from crazy nighttime snacking to eating nothing at all. So what I'm all about one small change, right? So I went from like binge eating at night to setting aside certain foods that I could eat at night. So I would give myself a single size bag of chips and I would have that for my nighttime snack. And when I was doing okay with that, then I moved to, okay, I can have a cup of grapes at night or a cup of popcorn or something like that. So I like all of your small changes might look totally different than mine, but I went incrementally until I could get to the point where I said, oh my goodness, I really don't need food at night anymore. And it's just been an amazing transformation and you can totally get there yourself. So my recommendation for you is to look for that one thing that you can start with. So ask yourself, am I actually hungry? You might already know that you're not hungry at night. So you might be past that stage already. You might say, all right, so I am overeating pretzels. So maybe I just don't let myself have pretzels, or I'm going to put them all in snack size baggies and I will allow myself a one snack size baggie at night or something like that. Find a small change to set yourself up to move forward with. All right. So, okay, so this, I paired two questions
Yep.
together for our next question because they were kind of the same idea. So Phyllis said, my question is that when I start eating, I can't seem to quit. It's like I don't have a full switch. And then Teresa said, I am a huge emotional eater and a closet eater. I shovel it in when no one is around to judge me. How do you break that?
So I totally get this. You know, for so many years, I told people like, you know, it's just like my hunger mechanism is on overdrive. I remember even talking to a doctor about that. Like, it was just like, you know, like my switch got turned, yeah, you know, like my hunger. I felt like I thought about food all the time and, you know, was hungry all the time, and I would eat and I was still hungry. So a couple of different things going on with that. One of those is the more processed junk food that you eat, the more you are going to want to eat those foods. Those foods are scientifically engineered to make you want to eat more of them. That's the way that the manufacturers, I mean, they hire very expensive, you know, they do studies and have scientists. So I'm not saying don't eat those foods. I eat those foods, but I'm very cautious. Like, I recognize that it's going to be harder to stop. It's going to make me hungrier. So that's one, like, Boots.
Sorry. Yeah,
He's
that's
just
my
saying
dog
hi. He's
barking at
just
the
saying
mailman.
hello. So, start to really pay attention to those types of foods and just notice like how they affect your hunger. The other thing I would say is, like we talked about before, the 24-hour plan. I want you to plan in advance what you're going to eat, because that will help you start to recognize either when you need to stop eating or not start eating, because you're going to be following your plan. Then I know this is the tricky part, right? When you want to keep eating and it's time to stop, that's when it gets hard. So that's when I want you to start to notice what you're thinking, because there's a specific process where you have a certain thought that drives you to want to overeat, which creates feelings, which is then what creates the behavior. And this is something we go into a lot more in depth in our program. But right now, I just want you to notice your thoughts. So when you want to keep eating and you know that you really need to stop, your plan tells you need to stop, your physical hunger tells you need to stop, start to pay attention to your thoughts. What are the thoughts that you're having? Pay attention to those. Or if you choose not to eat, what are the thoughts that you have? Start paying attention to those. That's where you start. That's where it begins. It gets deeper than that as you start to look at the feelings that drive the behavior, but just noticing the thoughts is really important and will be very helpful for you.
Yep. I agree with everything Sara just said. Every part of our program, we are trying to slowly increase your awareness. I was talking about that autopilot before. Man, is it easy to slip into autopilot with eating. Not having an off switch. I mean, I can sit down with, or I used to be able to sit down with a family size bag of chips in front of TV, and I would be shocked when I reached the bottom. And so it's like you allow yourself to disconnect. And we had this really awesome sermon this past weekend, and my pastor was talking about how we live in a distracted culture. We have phones and people, like we live crazy stressful lives. We have TVs going on. We always have some kind of distraction around us, where we rarely do one thing at one time anymore. We don't go to a restaurant and sit and eat and talk to a person. It is just so much input all the time. And so when you're eating, it's really hard to focus on just eating. And for a while, when you are trying to get back to more healthy eating habits, you really have to kind of pull back from a lot of those things. I mean, it's not good to be letting yourself snack in front of the TV when you're trying to lose weight, because chances are you're going to overeat, and you're not going to mean to, but it's just going to happen. And so it's looking at those things in your life, like, what are the situations that I put myself in where I tend to overeat the most, where I tend to make the worst decisions? And then once you start recognizing those situations, pull back and start seeing how you can prevent them. Okay, I know that I tend to overeat at night after dinner when my husband and I sit down to watch TV. So what can you do instead? And you start thinking of alternate options. I felt exactly the same way. I felt like my hunger had no off switch at all. And it was a really hard feeling like I was never satisfied with anything. So I just want to encourage you really quick. I can have one bite of chocolate these days and feel more satisfied than I used to feel eating an entire box of chocolate at a time.
That's awesome.
So
Yep,
I
awesome.
just want to encourage you that where you are now is not where you have to stay.
Yep.
And honestly, like the number one thing about all of this for me was increasing my awareness very slowly over time, recognizing, okay, why am I eating? What are the feelings behind this? Why am I even turning to food right now? And also noticing, am I hungry? Am I responding to hunger? How hungry am I? Did I let myself get too hungry? Is that why I'm overeating? There are so many ways to just increase your awareness. And we just have, I want all of you to be in the program with us, because we have so many amazing tools to give you. We have this awesome system on how to retrain your brain to respond to cravings, so that you don't just, your decisions aren't just led by cravings anymore. You won't just say, I feel like pizza, and then go get pizza. You have other ways to respond and retrain your brain to set up such healthier habits for you. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say one quick tip with everything that Becky's saying about being more mindful. Try saying to yourself, I only eat while eating, and I only eat sitting down. If you just do those two things, you know, all those foods that y'all just mentioned, the grapes, the chips, the gummy bears, the pretzels, the popcorn, like all those foods that we eat mindlessly, even if you're going to eat them, even if you're still going to make the decision to eat it, sit down at the kitchen table or wherever it is you eat with no phone, no TV, no computer, no distractions, and eat it. And you will be amazed at how much that changes your eating habits. I mean, seriously, it is like amazing. Stop doing other things while you're eating and just eat.
Yes. And now Teresa's question about being a closet eater. I really want to jump back to that, because boy, was that me all over. I was your typical closet eater. Everything you just described. I shovel it in when no one is around to judge me. That was me. So here's what I have to tell you. And I mentioned it in our last video. It was one night when I was doing that. I was eating a bag of Cheetos and a whole box of Star Crunches. And I was sneaking into my family's garage to hide the trash over, like underneath all these bags of other trash. And that was the moment that I realized that my weight problem had become a character problem. And I was hiding and lying and stealing for food. And so when I had that realization, boy, did it hit me hard, because I try so hard to be kind and compassionate and generous, that those traits that felt so gross, that felt so not like me. And I just wanted to get rid of them as soon as possible. So what I will tell you is that fear of judgment, that goes back to your worth in Christ and your identity in Him. And insecurities, when you have weight problems, I had a crazy amount of insecurities, and they do insane things to your thoughts. They just can twist the simplest thing and make you feel like the biggest failure in the world, and make you feel like you have to hide for people to like you, or to be acceptable, or to be worthy, or to be loved. All of those things. Again, that's something that it takes a lot more time to dive into than we have today, but it's just closet eating, secret eating. That was something that once I realized what a huge problem it was, I tried really hard to tackle that, because I was not okay with being that person anymore. So whatever that process looks like for you, I would just highly recommend you start journaling about it with the Lord, and just talking to Him. Why do I feel this way? Is this right that I feel this way? And most importantly, what do you have to say to me? I have this blog post on how I felt like God spoke to me during one of my emotional eating moments. And it's transformational to hear God's voice just drown out those insecurities that we are so used to. We've convinced ourselves our truth. So I just highly encourage you to dig deeper into that, because secret eating, it's not just about a bad habit. It's about something deeper.
And, you know, I love what you're saying too about replacing the lies with the truth. We so easily let Satan tell us lies like you're worthless, you're no good, you're a failure, and none of that is God's voice. And so it's so important to constantly remind ourselves of what the truth is from God's word. You are beautiful, you are cherished, you are honored. God loves you. No, there's nothing you could do that would make him love you any more or less than he does now. And for me, learning to have compassion and accept God's grace and forgiveness for me is really what made such a difference for me to be able to lose 100 pounds and keep it off. Now when I make a decision that isn't ideal, isn't what I would have wanted, rather than saying, oh, geez, Sara, I can't believe you did that. You're so stupid. You're such a failure. No, I don't say any of those things to myself. I treat myself with utmost compassion. In fact, I need more compassion when I have slipped up. So it's almost like I talk to myself in a voice of like, oh, sweetie, what happened? Tell me about what happened. Tell me about what's going on. Like the same way I would talk to, one of my daughters, one of my children. That's how I treat myself, with so much grace and compassion. And recognizing that when I fall down with my eating, that's a warning sign. That's a red light. Like, whoa, there is something else deeper going on here. And rather than beating myself up, which is just going to like push it into a corner, I'm going to pay attention to it and figure out what's going on. And the way to do that is with compassion.
Absolutely. So that is the perfect segue into our next giveaway.
And I didn't even try it.
I know. One of the things that Sara and I talk about a lot in our program is gratitude, and not just gratitude for everyday things, gratitude for your weight loss journey, for your body, for your progress, for your small victories. So that is what I want to hear from you right now. So we are going to be giving away, I have an ebook called Less of Me, and it's a 30-day weight loss devotional. And so I'm going to be sending you this ebook for free. If you let me know in the comments below, what is one thing you are grateful for? It can be about your body. It can be about your weight loss journey. It can be a really awesome small victory that you had this week. We would love to hear about something like that.
Yeah, these are great. I can't wait to read all of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting on some of those to come in, I saw that Tina asked, what span of time for each stage for the new program? So each of the stages has a little bit different timeline. Most of them are around a month long. We have a few that are longer. Emotional eating is a big one. And so we spend 6 weeks there. Yeah, they're around a month, but can be a little bit longer too.
Mm-hmm. And the program is self-guided. So if you need to spend more time in one stage or go back and do a stage, that's totally fine. But we do give you a calendar just to give you a rough idea of generally how we expect it to go. So the whole 10 stages of the program, 10 to 12 months is what we would anticipate for most women to finish it.
Yeah. And I've had some emails from women. We have a yearly plan that we offer, and they had asked, well, why would I pay for a yearly plan when I could be done with the program in 10 months? So number one, I'm telling you, like, you're probably going to need some extra time at some point. At some point, you're going to hit a sticking point where you're going to need some extra time, or you have a family vacation or a holiday where you're going to need to put things on pause a little bit. You really, really need probably the 12 months to do the whole course with the accountability and getting all of the experience for each of the steps that we give you to be the most successful. I just highly recommend the yearly plan, because you would save money that way. And that's just the time span that I most highly recommend.
Plus, we're going to have ongoing maintenance as part of your membership and support. And, just like anything else, you don't want to just do it and then sort of drop off and try to do it on your own. So we are here to offer you. And that's why we made it a membership and not just a course.
Exactly. Well, and like we said, these weekly coaching videos that we do, you're just going to have things come up. So when you're done, you're not always done. Sometimes there's times where you have to rewind and revisit some habits, and we're right there waiting for you whenever you need us.
Yeah.
So let's go back and read some of these comments. I've been so excited about these.
Yeah.
Okay. So Teresa says, grateful God put you in my life. Oh, thank you, Teresa.
That's so sweet.
Lisa has gone 10 days without candy. Good job, Lisa.
Wow.
Phyllis, thankful for her family. Kathy is grateful that God loves me just as I am. Absolutely, Kathy. Amen to that. Debbie says, I'm grateful for my family, my dogs, and you beautiful ladies. Thank you, Debbie.
Sweet, Debbie.
Jenny, so thankful for my hubby who supports me. Oh, supportive
That's
husbands.
awesome.
We love them
Yes.
here. That makes such
Mm-hmm.
a big difference. Candy says, I am grateful that apparently God has not given up on me because I still want to
No, he
keep trying.
hasn't. That's right. He
We'll never
absolutely
give
has
up on you,
not.
Candy. Linda is grateful
Wow.
for her salvation.
Kathy
Uh,
says, I'm grateful to have lost 80 pounds
oh,
so far and all the just in time help God has sent me like this group. That
oh,
is
that's beautiful.
congratulations,
Yeah,
Kathy.
great
That
job,
is
Kathy.
awesome. Hmm.
Nancy's thankful for this program. Nancy's in our program
Oh,
right now. We love
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
Nancy. Um,
Yes.
Alicia is grateful for God's grace that allows me to keep going and
Mm-hmm.
pushing through. Amen to that. Can't get enough of that
Mm-hmm.
grace. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Jackie says, I'm grateful to a group of women who also have children in the Air Force who decided to lose weight together. The
Oh, that's
encouragement and support
awesome.
is amazing. We understand the stress of children in harm's way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a great support system you have there.
Yeah. Thank you to your children for their service.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Janice, so many. Family will be the most important. Sandy, I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful for the awareness of God's presence in my life. Ooh, that's a good one, Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
Patty says, this just gives me so much hope. I'm grateful God loves me
Oh,
just as
good.
I am and meets
That's
me where I
right.
am, but doesn't let me stick there, doesn't leave me
That's
stuck there.
right. That's right.
Oh, Anne Marie says, oh, I have the book. It's excellent. I'm grateful for
Yay.
little things like just being able to get up and go to the bathroom. Oh, it's so true.
It
Not really
is.
little.
Yeah.
She said she had knee surgery once where she needed help to do it and it
Mm,
was hard. Great gratitude for just being able to move.
it's so
Oh, these are
true.
all so good. Um, Okay, we're almost to the end. I'm going to keep reading. So Tina says, grateful for my right Achilles. It's much more manageable than last year. I
Mm.
can move more and did a couple things this year. I could never have done it last year. Oh, that's great. I'm so excited for
Achilles
you,
are
Tina.
very slow to heal, very slow to
Mm.
heal. So that's a tough injury.
Kathy says, I live alone, so accountability is sometimes a problem. Do I need to find someone for accountability? I highly suggest it. There are people online and in
Mhm.
church, and I lived alone for a big portion of the time where I had a huge support system just everywhere.
We have a free
Um,
Christian weight loss Facebook group.
mhm.
If you're not in that, definitely come and join that. Think about doing the membership if you possibly can, because the accountability in that is so good.
Yeah, rock solid.
Yeah.
Kathy said, I'm grateful that Jesus is my partner in my weight loss.
Oh,
Love
that's
that. Oh,
awesome. Yeah.
all of these answers were so good. That's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the winner of the ebook is Linda Wagner. So Linda,
Congratulations,
congratulations.
Linda.
Send me an email, support@faithfulfinishlines.com, and we will get you that ebook ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so that is about the amount of time we have to get through the questions that we had. But don't think that this is the end. We're keeping a very long document of all of your questions. We really wanted to answer more. We were talking about different ways maybe we can keep doing that. We might do short videos in the Christian weight loss group. We might answer some in some emails or some Facebook posts. So keep an eye out. We don't want you to feel forgotten because your questions matter to us and we want to answer them. We just don't always have
Mm-hmm.
time. We really like giving in-depth answers when you ask us things like this. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously the number one way to get your questions answered is just to join us in our program. Registration will only be open September 15th through the 18th. So that starts on Sunday. So during those few days, the 15th through the 18th, those are the only days that you will be able to snag the lowest price we're ever going to offer this program for.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the option for a monthly plan. You can pay $40 a month. And like I said, that gets you access to both the course and the membership, the private Facebook group with the coaching calls and all of that stuff. So much support in there. So you have the option for the monthly plan. But if you do end up doing the yearly plan, which I highly recommend, that's $422. You save 12%. So you're saving about $5 a month on that membership. So you're welcome to choose whatever is right for you. On our sales page, we have a little section where we talk about, like, how do you know, is monthly right for you? Is yearly right for you? And you can find so much more information about our program on that sales page. So we have information on what's included in each of the stages. And yeah, like we've talked about, so believe in this program. We know it works. We've had a group of women going through it for a few months now, and we just cannot wait to open this up to you guys and let you in. Uh-oh, Sarah just dropped out on us for a second there. I'm going to jump in and see if I can answer some of these questions while Sarah's frozen. Oh no. Kathy says, okay, what do your t-shirts say? Okay, these are Faithful Finish Lines t-shirts. And I believe Sarah says she is strong. Oh, we lost Sarah altogether. Darn it all. I hope that you guys can still see me okay. Kathy asked, will it be on the FFL website? Do you mean the sales page, Kathy? What are you asking if it's going to be on the website? Probably most, if you're asking about the answers to the rest of the questions, we'll probably be doing most of that in the Christian Weight Loss group, which is our free Facebook group. So make sure that you're a member there. And then Anne Marie says, is there a limited number of people who can join? No. So we actually designed this new program so that we could open it up. One of the problems we were running into in our previous 7-week program is that we had to limit it because we really wanted to give the one-on-one attention. So that's why we do these group coaching calls the way we do, because every single question that you guys ask applies to hundreds more people. And so we just know that your question is answering so many other people's questions at the same time. That's why the group coaching calls are so important about giving personalized attention. But we have an awesome structure in place so that we will just know how to take care of you in the group. So it's not limited. So make sure to join us September 15th through the 18th. Okay, Sarah says she's here again, but Sarah, can you comment on the video so that I can click on you and invite you back on the video? Kathy says you can't find the 2.0 online. So Tiffany is posting the link to the sales page. Registration is not open yet, so you'll be able to read the sales page, but you won't be able to register quite yet. Kathy says, now you are both frozen to me. Oh no. Okay. So Sarah, your comment showed up as Faithful Finish Line, so it won't let me invite you back on the video. I'm really hoping that I'm not still frozen to you, Kathy. I'm hoping the video is still working. So yeah, so follow the link that Tiffany's giving you to find out more information for 2.0. Tiffany says, I see you. Okay, I am so glad that I'm still online. Okay, so we are going to keep answering your questions. After the video, if you still have questions about the program or anything else, then go ahead and just leave them here. Thank you so much for letting me know that you see me. I'm so glad that the video is still working. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining me today. I am just going to close us in a quick prayer. But like I said, we're keeping a huge spreadsheet of just all of your questions that we want to get to. If it's questions about the program, we'll get to those ASAP because we want you to be ready to join in September 15th through the 18th. That'll be the only time that registration will be open until January. So if you're on the fence, make sure to ask and we'll try to answer anything we can for you. If you have other questions just about weight loss and struggles you're having, you can go ahead and send us an email or comment on this video and we will add your question to the spreadsheet and we'll just try to slowly go through them and try to answer them when we have time. So I'm just going to say a quick prayer over you ladies and then we'll be done for the day. Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for this group of women that you have brought into my life and that you have brought to Faithful Finish Lines. I just praise you for the experience that you have given Sarah and I in our own weight loss so that we could just use our stories to share what you have done in our lives with other women and show them that it is so possible for them too, that there is nothing special or set apart about us, Lord. You created us just the same as you created them. I pray that you inspire them to keep starting and restarting as many times as they need, because they have never failed enough to be outside of your reach. Your grace is so much bigger than any poor decision that we could make, than any failure that we think that we have done, Lord. I pray that each one of these ladies experiences more and more of your grace and of your goodness, and then they can just experience more of you through their weight loss journey as they put you at the center of their eating and their exercise. Lord, I just praise you so much for what you've done already tonight in this video, just in the conversation that we've stirred, and just raising the awareness about their bodies and about their feelings and about their soul, Lord. I pray that you just draw each and every woman nearer and nearer to you as they seek to glorify you in their weight loss journey. We thank you so much for each and every woman here, and we praise you, and we just pray all of this in your son's precious name. Amen. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let me just check. Yep. Okay. So I think we're good to go at this point. Let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and leave them in the comments, and we will get back to you for sure. And once again, thank you so much for joining us. Our third video is Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are going to be doing an awesome video. We told you we were pretty flooded with your weight loss questions. We were doubly more so flooded by your prayer requests, how you wanted us to pray for your weight loss journey. So that is going to be such an awesome video. On Friday, we are talking all about how to pray for your weight loss journey. And then on the live video, Sarah and I are going to be speaking blessings over you. And we are also going to be praying for you. As many of you as we can mention by name as we can fit in that video. There are so many of you, and we just care so much. We care so much about your walk with God and your connection to him through all of this in your life. So make sure to join us Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, same place. So we will see you then. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.